DJDUBL.
DJDUBL here, and today my guest on the show goes by the name of Parkhill.
Parkhill, yeah.
It's been a long time coming, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
A long time coming, man.
Welcome, man. Welcome to the channel. So, fresh off the stage, basically, you just did a headline show. What, 2 weeks ago now?
What, has it been 2 weeks?
A week ago. I think it was a week ago, wasn't it? Last week.
It feels like yesterday, for real, for real. I'm still like on the high from it. Like,
how was it?
It was way better than I expected. See, like this is my first like show where I do a whole set and it's myself and I'm the last artist. Like, I've done the other shows that I did before is when I first came back from America when I was with Huncho for the last leg.
Come out, Printworks, right?
Yeah, and I was only really doing like one. I did like a few dates and I was only doing our song that we got with each other. Sorry Not Sorry. But on Printworks, I think unfortunately that's when a situation happened with Free Slim, and he had got locked up. So I ended up taking his set, and that was my first time doing like a full set, and in my opinion I was terrible. You get me? So this one I can't swear on this.
Yeah, you can't say.
Oh yeah, I was shitting myself, bro. On God, on everything. I wasn't ready.
Yeah. So so I never realized that the reason you got a full set at Huncho's one is because Slim got locked up. I didn't realize that.
Free Slim, man.
Were you nervous before you came out of the Huncho one? Because that was a big crowd, bruv.
Hey, I was nervous. No, I was really nervous, but at the same time, yeah, when I'm in uncomfortable positions and like that's when I thrive. Like that's when I go harder. Like I feel good in those uncomfortable positions. So I was nervous, but I was ready. Like I was
worked well under pressure.
Yeah, definitely worked well under pressure.
I was trying to explain earlier to somebody the type of artist you are, and it was kind of really difficult to explain your sound. So how would you describe like who you are as an artist?
Me, it is difficult because and early on that was like a challenge that I faced with people. Like they didn't really know how to class me, whether I'm a singer or a rapper and that. But I think I would say I'm just I just make music. Like I just express myself. In fact, like I don't think I'm the best singer, but I feel what people hear from me is what is like my emotion. There's like really when I listen to it certain times I'll be like, man, I'm off, but my emotion, how you like that feeling that is coming through when I do it, that's what people are hearing, and I think that's like what I'm doing. So I'll call it like expressing myself, like
it's
rapping, singing.
I'm glad that I struggled, and it's obviously you can't even put yourself in the box either. So.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I read that you were majority like raised by your grandma.
Yeah, I was. Do you know what? Yeah, I was raised a lot by my grandma, but a lot with my mum as well. Like, you know, more so than the rest of my siblings.
I was interested to know what music was played in the house.
My grandma, she likes gospel, funk, like gospel music. That's her number one. Especially the older that she gets, the more she listens to that. But growing up, it was more like funk music, like George Clinton, Bootsy Collins. And there was a lot of like alternative R&B and like my grandmother really liked Sade. My grandmother was a singer. That's really what it is. Yeah. So she used to sing with like, she was signed back in the day to Philip's label. I think like I don't think it exists today, or it's probably changed name today. But back in the day, Philip's label.
So she a big deal then?
She couldn't go through with like the demand of being an artist, like you know, all the rehearsals or the studio time, like, so she just gave it up and then decided to be like a regular, like just not making music in it. I can't relate. I'll go crazy.
The reason I asked is because I was quite interested to know, obviously, like having spent that time with your grandma, I wondered if because there's this like a generational gap between the music, so obviously you'd be exposed to older music than I would have been. Does that make sense? So I wanted to know if any of that music that was played and the names that you mentioned, did they play a part in the music that you make now? Yeah,
like listening to music. Alright, so there's this one artist for sure that I take a lot of influence from that I don't think people probably realize, but I think his name was Philip Neville. He looks like Johnny Bravo, but he's light skinned.
Right.
You get me? But he had like when you see him, he looks like a trucker, but he had like a soft voice. Like that's kind of like my inspiration, like for what I do. Like when you see me, you see one thing, but I don't sound like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like so, she used to listen to him. He's like an older dude. Right. I think he even had like songs with someone like with singers like Anita Baker. Okay. And yeah, so.
Yeah, right, okay.
Philip, no, I hope I'm saying the right name.
They're going to come for you if you're not, bro.
On everything.
Like,
it's my grandmother's music, so that's my excuse. Like.
Yeah. You're not just an artist as well. Obviously, we were talking off camera about the fact that you're an artist, you're a producer, you're a songwriter, you're an engineer. Like, you've got such a multifaceted thing about your whole career. So we've got so much to talk about. Like, firstly, approaching it from the artist perspective. When did you change your name from Doxman to Parkhill?
He's trying to do the mad thing. So it was never really Doxman actually. It was just Dox, like.
Okay.
But it's mad, like that name. You know what? It's never really left. In the ends, I'm still Dox, fam.
Right. Okay.
Like, but when I was in America, I felt like it was time, like. I need to represent myself now. You know what I'm saying? Like Dox was then, like, you know, whoever knows me from back in the day, they'll know what I'm talking about. That was like young, like tracksuits.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't incriminate yourself, bro. Say no more.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, that's crazy, fam. He's doing all the bad.
So
who do you think you are, Nardwar?
I got a violin for you, bro.
On everything.
So, okay, so it was when you were in America you decided to come up with the Parkhill.
Yeah.
Where did Parkhill come from?
It's like a mix of like two areas that I grew up in or like I've been around. Like,
okay.
Hill represents like the first half, like when I used to stay in South London as a kid, like real young. So there was a lot of places that man was staying where it was like something hill, like Gypsy Hill, Pollard's Hill, That's what that represents. Park represents Northwest, like the area in Northwest where I'm at is a lot of parks like Queen's Park, Kilburn Park, Bronsbury Park. You know what I'm saying? So I just mixed the two, Park Hill. You get me? And it was like, it's really me and like a female friend at the time when I was staying in Atlanta. Like, we just came up with it with each other. Like.
Okay, got you. So as a producer, obviously, like you've obviously produced for yourself. I know you've got a cut on Wale's latest album as well, which I know you produced. Yeah,
me and my boy Ike, my boy Skylar.
Yeah, that's a hard tune as well, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy, fam.
But I want to talk about the older stuff. So like, I want to talk about like IMP Crew. Making like sing-along for Crazy Titch.
That ain't got nothing to do with me.
But you were part of the crew, bro, and they used the name.
Yeah,
and like Murder He Wrote for Asher D.
No, I did do that. Yeah. Like, so yeah, man, just as a young youth, like my mum had bought me like a laptop, like from like Cash Converters time ago, like, and I think like in school somebody had given man like a CD of FL Studio. So I always wanted to do music from a kid, so like as soon as I got that FL Studio and was able to install it on that little laptop, like I was locked in, fam. I was trying to make beats every day. I was trying to find a way out of going to school because I didn't want to go to school. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I threw myself into it. Like I ain't miss a beat. Like from the day I got the laptop and FL Studio together, I ain't stopped. Like got better at it, and down the line, I sent the beat to a dude called Machine Man Tim, who actually made Sing Along, and he sent it to, I don't know who he sent it to, but somehow it got to it got to Wiley, but it got to Asher D, yeah. And he ended up making a song called Murder She Wrote, but I sampled Barrington Levy on it. It was, now when I look back, it was a terrible beat. Like,
I don't know about terrible. I feel like for the time, even for the time, fam, like all the real producers were really going on with stuff. You get me? I was just like, I didn't have like speakers and all of that. Like, you know, I just had a laptop and like some PC speakers, and so a lot of the times when I hear stuff like that, it's irritating. I'm like, and I could time for a remake. Murder He Wrote 2.0
and everything. I found some old samples and stuff like that. I might go crazy.
Do you take the production like very seriously? Because it seems, I was gonna say, it seems like out of all the things that you do, that's kind of the thing you don't really shout about, and you don't really like.
I never thought I was good at it, and then especially when I went to America, I definitely didn't think I was good at it because I was around real producers, people like I was around Metro Boomin, I was around people, even people like Black Elvis, what's his name, Bangladesh, and these people do this every day. They this is their thing. Like it's nothing for them to create a hit. Like I remember talking to when I first met Jazzy Faye. Jazzy Faye said he called himself he had like a term for it, like the people that they call when they need a hit, when all the songs on the album were done but they ain't got a hit, they call people like him. And I was like, I ain't that guy. Like I only make beats every now and then, something has to inspire me, so I never really took it serious. But as of recent, I've started to produce for myself more, so that's allowing me to get enough practice to where I feel like maybe the end of this year, next year, I'll start working with a lot more artists. Even the beat that Wale's on, it wasn't meant to go down like that. Like really, me and my boy Ike were working on a song, and Dirk came in, and he just, oh, what's that? And we're like, yeah, I'm making the beats. Like, load it up. I'm looking at Ike. I'm waiting to see what Ike say. Ike's like, Ike didn't want to let him have it at first either. So. But they're cousins and that, so they just had the little end up doing a song. Later on, they sent it to Wale, and
it's on the album.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Are you glad that's happened with that, or would you have preferred to have kept that one for yourself?
No, I'm. You know what? Music's music. Like what he's talking about on the song, I experienced. So it's still. I didn't know that was the emotion I was letting out at the time when I was making the beat, but.
Funny how it hits someone, innit? They can listen to it and it brings out a whole topic from them.
Oh God!
Do you enjoy producing?
When I'm in the zone, you get me. Like when I catch that inspiration, then it's easy. When I'm trying to make a beat, I'm not really into it. Nah.
So tell me, the gap. How did this journey go from being docs in IMP to Parkhill in an Atlanta studio engineering for people? Like, what was the transition? What made you go over there?
Life just took me all over the place, bro. Like, I was growing up, I was moved around so much that I just encountered so much different type of people. So the IMP situation, that's like a period in my life, where my mother was locked up, so I was staying with my grandmother, and my grandmother had moved to a place called Milton Keynes. So I end up meeting a collective that were producers and MCs and stuff like that. But I was at this time I was living in New Cross, and I was around people like the Essentials, New Era, RIP New Era, and that. And so I was just, and funny enough, I was just coming into grime. I'm not like a regular, because I'm also African American, innit? So I grew up with more influence from America, so when I got here and grime started popping, I started to gravitate towards it. So by the time I fully got into it, my mom's locked up and we're over there in MK, and I've met this group of people and they're producing, spitting. So I just hey man, I want to make music. So they don't really like rap music out here. Let me do the grime thing. So I learned it, I studied it and got kind of, decent. Eventually, the IMP thing, that fizzled out because now people are getting older, going college and right? And then, so I end up doing what I got to do. It's hard to tie it into the music, but I kind of just gave up music. Right. And was heading somewhere completely different than where I'm heading today. We was playing around with it at that time because we were still into other stuff. But I looked at it if I keep in this road that I'm on, man's just gonna end up in jail or dead or something, you get it? I don't know, so I ended up trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. And I saw an advertisement for a school in America called Full Sail. Now I'm already knowing that I'm a dual citizen, and over here I can't really go to school because I ain't got those kind of qualifications. Plus, at the time, my immigration status was in question over here, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I couldn't get a job, so I'm forever like in these streets. So I was like, man, if I'm ever gonna get out of it, I've got to go to where I can work, get a job, get an education and that. So I took all the money that I had saved, and I paid to go to school in Orlando. I went to Full Sail University and did a recording engineering course.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Now that course, I decided to do that course because by this time I'm at that point in my head like, man, like the way the scene is today, it weren't like that when I left. You know, it was like no one really knew. There was only Krept and Conan for real. Like people was getting locked up. Whoever
it wasn't the scene that it is now.
Yeah. So I'm like, boom, and then I'm thinking in America, I got this accent. They're never gonna. Not that they're never gonna accept, man, but they're forever trying to like play us, like not let us through. So I'm like, boom, when I get here, I know what it is. I'll do the engineering thing and hopefully get enough knowledge to bring it back to the UK, open up a studio and train other engineers. So at least the artists out here have good engineers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the goal at first. So when I completed, I ended up moving to Atlanta because they told me not. The family and the man then told me, don't come back to London, you'll get back into the into rotation with the old life, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, boom, what's my next step? So a lot of the people was moving to LA or Atlanta, so I'm like, LA seems a bit expensive. Let me try Atlanta out. Boom, went to Atlanta. Like the next, probably like within 3 days, I was interning at a studio.
Sick.
One of the biggest studios in Atlanta, 11th Street Studios.
What was it, 11th Street?
Yeah, 11th Street, yeah.
Right, okay.
There I was working, I was like, while I was interning, I was around like artists like Future, YFN, Lucci, like basically every artist in Atlanta, like, and the way the schedule was like, you're interning for like 12 hours, so you're there, to be honest, it was way longer than 12 hours, man. It's just, we're just there, blood, like we just live there, like, so we spent a lot of time around these artists, so they just get comfortable around you, start getting to know you to the point now, like, you start sitting in on sessions, then you start actually doing the sessions, and end up building, like, relationship with certain artists, and one of the artists that I built a relationship with was Lil Durk. Right, so working with him off him, to be honest, working with any artist that I was working with would inspire, man. Like, while they're doing their thing, like, I'm getting lyrics coming to me, I'm getting melodies and all type of stuff.
You sat there writing stuff like?
No. But it's like, when you're an engineer, you came to be an engineer. You didn't come to write no lyrics or none of that. Okay, so I'm getting frustrated because I got all these ideas and I can't get them out, right? Well, I can't get them out there and then. So I'm like, boom, I got a studio in my crib. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might as well just make use of it. Like, so after sessions, I'll go, like, even though I'd forget all the ideas that I got in the session, I'll come back and just make songs, and yeah, that's how it came about. And then one girl that I was with, like the same girl that helped me come up with the name, she was like, I don't know, she was like asking me about my life, and she was like saying, yo, you should make songs about this, that. So that's kind of like where I got the idea of, like, for the topics that I write about, I usually write about my past or, you know, what I'm going through in my life, and
yeah, that's.
I know that was long-winded as hell.
Yeah, no, that's a dope journey, man. Obviously you mentioned doing sessions with Future and stuff. I know you had Travis Scott pass through as well, right?
Yeah.
So you were just engineering for these guys. There was no like kind of artist.
No. The first artist link up, like, with any of them was when Dirk put me on that album. Right. Okay. Yeah. Like,
what about
actually, tell it like I was gonna do a song with not Travis Scott, TK Kravitz.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but like I froze up because this is when I was early. Like, I just started. Like, TK's like, yo, jump in the booth. Boom, I jump in there, freeze up. Yeah. And then I froze up another time. Oh man, if I froze up. Dirk, we're in North Carolina. Dirk's like, yo, they call me Raw. They're like, yo, Raw, you go do the hook. I'm half asleep, tired, like, and I'm stuck in engineer mode because I was literally engineering the session. And I told you, when I come to engineer, like, that's what it is. I'm in work mode. I'm not trying to, like, create and because I believe, like, I'm here to do the job. You know what I'm saying? So he caught me off guard. I'm in the booth. I think Ike was recording me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, couldn't think of nothing.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Mad. So the Roddy Ricch situation, was that the same engineering for him? Because I saw you post.
I was engineering for Dirk. Like Dirk used to take.
Came through.
Yeah, like so the relationship I ended up building with Dirk, by that time I was just with Dirk. I was only engineering.
You're his engineer now.
I was Dirk's, and not even Dirk's. I was OTF engineer. I was engineering for all the guys. Like you know what I'm saying. So if you've seen the picture on my page with me and Roddy, that's when I guess Future was in another room at Chalice Studios. And so Dirk went to that room while I had to record Roddy's verse for the song that they had.
Okay.
And but the whole time, that's when Die Young is like a big song in the UK, and it's like one of my favorite songs. So
yeah,
I'm like waiting to say something, but he ain't trying to. Like he's moving like he's keeping his eye on me, right? When Dirk leaves, I say, "Yo, what's up?" Da, 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 da. Like when he heard my accent, like the whole like vibe changed. He was like, "Oh, man, I thought you was like." From over there, like he thought I was from Chicago.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So he thought I was like one of the goons. He didn't realize I was the engineer.
Right.
You get me? So we end up taking a picture and all of that. You get me? But yeah.
When Dirk posted up, "Let It Rain."
Yeah.
Because he put it on his.
He put it on his
OTF mixtape.
Yeah, he
right?
put it on his album.
Did that do a lot for you?
Yeah, it boosts like my fan base in Chicago for sure, but all around America. Like most of my American fan base know me from that song.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other song they might know me from. They might. No, that's probably the main song that they know me from. Yeah.
Why have you not done a track with Dirk?
Do you know what? I'll tell you my honest opinion, fam. Like, I wanted it to be like I earned it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want it to be like a favor. I wanted it to be like he's proud that he's seen where I was, and he saw me like how much work I put in and where I got to.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what I'm saying now. Rather than if he does a song for me, it's just doing it for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I want it to benefit both of us. I want it. Like people are probably looking at me right now thinking, "But you're tripping. Like you should have da 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 da."
Yeah,
but
artists that cut off body parts to do that, bro. Like
on everything. But see me, like I'm stubborn like that. Like see me, I don't want it the easy way. I want it. I want to go through all the work that it takes to get to the top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know Broski could jump on a song with me and blow me up. I don't even need to go directly to him. I know I could do a song with Von and that would blow me up, or Mimo, or any of them. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all going crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like it would just be a bringing. You know what I'm saying? I wanna really like show my talents, and I want it to be like they respect my talent and want to work with me rather than that's bro, let me put him on.
Yeah. I like that mentality, bro, and I think like long term it'll work for you better that way anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Hope so, man.
Yeah. No, I think it will, bro. Is there any other UK artists that you know of that have like a fan base in America, especially like obviously you spent a lot of time in
I ain't
Atlanta.
gonna lie, when Drake put Dave on the when Drake did the Dave thing, everyone kept coming up to me like they were spitting Dave's lyrics. They weren't even doing Drake's part. Yeah, like who else? And then obviously Skepta is well known out there. I ain't gonna lie. Like of all the people that's known out here, it's just that I guess from my scene, which is the trap wave scene, they probably wouldn't. They don't take that in that Skepta's known because Skepta's like a grime MC or something. But Skepta's well known out there. Everyone knows Skepta. I see all the American people listening to his mixtape.
Is it?
And all of that, yeah.
Interesting. What made you move back to the UK?
Family, man. Family. Like, yeah, just family. I was missing them. Like, I got a lot of family in America. That's my dad's side and my grandfather's side. But I was raised by my grandmother. She's over here. My siblings that I was raised with, they're all over here.
Right.
The man them, Kilburn. Like, I just had to come back, man. I was missing. Like, I felt like I was over there and I was progressing, but I was slowly like losing myself at the same time. Like, you know, because when you're around everything over there, but nothing of what you're used to, like
it's different, man. It's a different culture, isn't it? Day to day, it's
completely. Man, I had to come back and get in tune.
Yeah, I hear that. Well, I'm glad that you came back and you're obviously able to just jump straight into music mode.
Yeah, man.
You dropped the Homecoming mixtape.
Homecoming.
When you got back.
Yeah, like half of it was done before I got back.
Right.
But really, so it's funny, right? Half of the songs were done. I didn't realize I was making an album called Homecoming, like, but some stuff just happens, like, I guess by like divine intervention or whatever. Like, when I got home, that just became the theme, Homecoming, like, and then the songs started to like lean towards that, you know, like NW6, the first song, you know, and everything I'm talking about, like, it's all real stuff. Like, I'm not being fictional at all. Like, literally, these are stuff that happened, you know what I'm saying?
It's all true stories.
All true stories.
Talk to me about the deal that you had with Mixtape Madness around that whole release.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, shit, you know everything.
There's nothing I don't know, bro.
I'm like, who did you talk to, fam? Yeah. Nah, so basically what happened was, around, I can't remember what year it was, but I think it was like towards the end of 2017 or 2018. Or I smoke a lot of weed, so my memory is crazy.
So just a blur.
Yeah, like but M Huncho had come to Atlanta, and his management team came, and there's also some people from his label came out, and that's how I met my manager. Like, that's how I officially met my manager, but he was rocking with me like for a while before. He put out my first song, which was Made for This. Like, the first song that I released, that wasn't my first song, but the first song that I released was Made for This. He put it on Mixtape Madness, and he just always kept it 100 with me. So when he came with M Huncho to Atlanta, we built a relationship, and they was like, yo, like, if you want to take this music thing serious, when you come to the UK, come mess with us, like. So I took him up on their offer, like, and yeah, like, that's how Homecoming came out. The first one, my first project, which is A Beautiful Struggle, I did that completely independent.
Right.
Yeah.
So with the Mixtape Madness thing then, was that like, did it work the same way a record deal would work? Or was it kind of just like more of a distribution thing, or what? What was the conversation?
It was like a project deal. It was like, yeah. It was like, they facilitate me working on this project, and we split 50-50 type. You know
right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I understand now. So let's talk about the Overnight Bag EP.
Yeah, let's go.
Brand new music.
Yeah.
And it dropped what? I think, did it drop the day of or the day after the headline show?
It dropped like right after I got off that stage, like 12 on the dot.
Like midnight, so you literally step off stage and boom.
I timed it, man. I thought I was doing something.
Yeah. No, it was sick, man. Like, so it's obviously your third project as well, as you mentioned. You got.
It's not even really. It's my third official, but it's like my fourth, because I had another project like in between called Repress, which is like a little EP / mixtape of me on other people's.
There you go. There's something I didn't know about you.
Yeah, see, you're looking at the wrong things, like you're looking too far back, like. No.
But do you feel like from your time doing the projects, do you see the progression in just also not just the way that you make the music, but in the way that it's received, like the fan base as well?
Yeah, the fan base is definitely building. The more people hear me, the more I get like messages, and I can see growth. It might not it ain't happening like overnight, but it's happening though. I see it, you know. In terms of like me as an artist progression, yeah, I definitely hear it. But do you know what's crazy? A lot of them songs, so I could drop a song on a project and it might not be from this year. I've got so much songs. On Overnight Bag, Energy is the first song I ever recorded. That's from 2017.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's your first ever proper song.
Yeah, like I wasn't even trying to make. I was trying to be a songwriter at that point. Like, that's what it started as.
So it's a reference song, basically.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I never changed the vocals. It is still just a reference. Like, yeah.
Huh, mad, because it sounds proper, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I appreciate it.
Sounds good as well. Like, I like the whole project. How did you get in the mood for this? Because this is, like you mentioned off camera, like this one was to target at the female fans. Like
I said, all my music is like real. So literally when I have an experience, or like when I go through it, or it's happening, like I go in the studio, I don't write, I just get in front of that mic and go, like literally how I'm feeling, what's going through my mind, I get it off my chest. This is like, when I go to the studio, it's more like a diary to me. And everything.
Because yeah, this project's definitely, especially as it was Valentine's Day as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like, it's definitely the right mood, if you know what I mean. But it's
shout out my manager and my brothers. Like, we all put the.
Was this their choice? Yeah, they helped orchestrate it all.
Now we all had the idea with each, like, separately, individually, we all had the idea, but like when they brought it to me, it made sense because I was thinking about it. My manager was thinking about it.
Yeah.
Bridgens were thinking about it, and then it was like, yeah, like, let's go, let's make it happen.
And so the overnight bag came. And so it's 5 songs.
Yeah, 5 songs.
But it's only 15 minutes long.
Only 15 minutes.
It's not quite long enough for the mood, if you know what I mean.
Nah,
like 15
nah,
minutes
man, you put it on loop. You put it on loop.
Put it on repeat.
Nah, look, I had to think about the 1 minute man that's in there. You know what I'm saying? And then some girls, yeah, their thing is set up proper. You ain't got no choice. You gotta let it go quick. You know.
So it's like just them quick ones. Have you smashed your own music before?
Yeah, of course. Listen, if you don't smash your own music, I don't know, fam. I don't know for you still.
Yeah. Ratings, and I love that you set it up for the sprinters as well.
I'm not a sprinter, by the way, unless it's 2 ton up. You know when it's the waterworks and that. Like, it's all. Oh god.
The producers you got on there, so you got Skylar on the beat, Honeywood 6, SSK, Young Chenks, and you only produced one of the beats.
Yeah.
Why only one? Because you must have a collection of instrumentals.
Funny enough, I don't.
Right.
I don't. Right. But I do have a
collection. Dirk stolen them all.
Nah. He's only jumped on 2. He done one with Hypno Carlito. That never came out. And then this one. Yeah. Like I said, and it's funny you should say that, because when Dirk found out I could make beats, he's like, why you never said? And I'm like, cause I'm an engineer. Like, I'm an engineer. You met me as an engineer. Like, I don't like. I'm not a person like. If I overstep my boundary, I'm trying you. Like, you know. I other than that, man, I'm like, you know, I just play my part, man. I play my position. I don't do too much extra. Like, I just do what I have to do. Like. And
sometimes it can feel a bit forced as well. If you're just an engineer and you're like, oh, check out my beats.
Yeah,
like,
they're not gonna.
It's just forcing. But if it's organic, now he's gonna pay attention when you start hitting the buttons.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And over time, he just grew to like respect my ear, and on certain things, you know what I'm saying. We wouldn't even question me on certain things. He'd probably pull me up on other things, but yeah.
Shame he couldn't come in the country, man. Like,
big shame, man. I was looking forward to him being out.
Fans ready to.
Anyone who knows, hey, listen. If you know me, I always ask him like, "Yo, when you come into the ends, bro, you get me?" So that
Have
was.
you spoke to him since?
I spoke to him just before he was coming.
Right.
Like, to be honest, because he travels a lot. Like this, I'm around him, so I know what is like his schedule's like. I don't like doing up, like bothering him and all of that stuff. Cause he's got a lot of people like that just reach out to him. So I just be like, when I'm around, that's when I'm more like in his face. But I'm over here. I just check in every now and then, like, yo, bro, you good? But I'm probably due for a check-in still. You get me? Yeah. I spot when he his cousin actually got in, so I was just with his cousin for a couple of days, and then yeah. But listen, we're working on getting him out here, man, on everything. It's gonna happen on everything.
Sick. Going back to the other producers on the project, you only obviously, like I said, produced one of the tracks. Did you tweak any of the other tunes or instrumentals?
Nah.
You don't do that?
I respect. You see, if I work with a producer, I respect their thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Like, if I have to like the beat already. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not I like the beat, but you know. Actually, that's cap. Because sometimes I've done it at times with certain producers, but for the most part, I rate their thing. Like, I don't want to change it. Like, that what I heard there is what inspired me. Yeah. The only thing I might tweak is I might put a filter here so that the vibe of the beat changes. Right, okay, and you could probably hear me more than the beat. Or but I don't really do too much. That
seems to be more on the engineering side of it, really, though, rather than actually like production side, changing.
I mean, it depends how you look at it, because the engineer that kind of trained me up, he views that as production.
Right. Okay. Yeah. What's your favorite track of the project?
Mine. It's crazy, man, because they all like represent something, but it's between. Even though I don't like listening to Energy as much anymore because I heard it so much.
Yeah.
It's between Energy and probably No Fun. No, Pride. No, Pride is my favorite. Pride is my favorite.
What, you're saying that Pride is the favorite?
No, Pride is my favorite, yeah. Nah, car, I don't know, like, the beat is different. Like, it's just, when you hear those keys, you don't expect to hear some rappers, like, on that, you know, yeah. So, yeah, Pride.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could have anybody ever, dead or alive, on a track, who would it be?
What do you think? Ah, bro, that's hard, fam. Oh no, that's hard. Can I get one alive, one?
There's no rules, bro. You can just say 10 if you want, but.
Alright, don't laugh, yeah.
Don't say.
It's not even a don't laugh thing because he's hard, fam. Dead Nate Dogg. It's between Nate Dogg and Nipsey, but more likely Nate Dogg. Just for the
between Nate Dogg and
Nipsey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was just like big fans of what they did. Like
Nate Dogg's my favorite West Coast artist.
For real?
Yeah, man.
He's not my favorite West Coast artist, but he's like he just was different. Like he stood out from them, you know. I think Snoop probably I got a few favorites. I like all. I can't do the favorites thing because it changes all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But alive, who would I put on my song? And is this in the world?
Anyone ever. Any genre, any nationality, anybody.
Ty Dolla $igns. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another West Coast artist, Ty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that actually. Like, I like Ty as well. And it's funny you say that because I've always said that Ty Dolla $ign is like the Nate Dogg for this generation.
On everything,
like,
right?
He's that hip hop hook guy, bro.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting that you say Nate Dogg and Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
I feel like they're the same. They play the same position, just in different generations.
Yeah. Nah, do you know what it is though? The thing about Ty Dolla $igns, right? He's got like a similar background as me, like in terms of music. Like he's musically inclined, but still had to be out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
big songwriter as well.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know. I just identify with his journey. You know? Yeah.
I rate that, man. So you mentioned to me again. This is another thing you said off camera. You're working on another project.
Yeah.
Is that something you can talk about now? Like,
yeah,
man.
It's another EP. It's called Ape. All I'm gonna say is it's called Ape.
It's called Ape.
I'm not gonna tell you what it stands for, just look out for Ape. It's coming. I can't tell you when it's coming. It's in the works though.
So you're working on it right now.
Yeah.
And then Overnight Bag was a very like smooth, that nighttime music.
Yeah, baby making music in that.
Yeah, that is out on Valentine's Day standard.
You already know.
What's Ape gonna sound like? Or what is it sounding like so far?
It sounds like how it sounds. Ape, man, beating down everybody's chest with those 808s. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be odd, man. It's the other side of me. You got the lover side of me. You're about to get the the ape shit go
Docs
crazy.
is back.
No, nah, man. Like he ain't back, but Parkhill is angry. You know what I'm saying? He's not angry but aggressive. He's in aggressive mode.
Yeah. So what's your focus for the rest of the year? Because you just obviously did the headline show. You got another show booked up already, right?
Yeah, man. Camden Assembly, Tuesday, 21st of April, man. Make sure you're there. I need everybody to pull up, come rock with me, man. I'm gonna turn it. The first show was lit. We're gonna take it up a level.
It's gonna be litter.
Litter,
yes.
But not garbage.
Yeah. Amazing. So after that, like, is there any other plans for the rest of the year?
Yeah, man. More releases. I'm gonna hopefully by the end of this year have my official tape out, and then my collective, like in the midsummer, like put out a project from like my guys. That's Top 6 Records.
Okay.
You know.
Like a compilation type.
Yeah.
Sick.
You know, Nike drip on there. Have my boy Spen and just more of the guys. My boy Judged Up Jim.
Yeah.
All the guys from the ends. Just have them on it.
Nice, man. So the last thing I want to ask is about your aspirations. Like, if you get to the end of your career as Parkhill, what do you want to see? Like, when you look back at what you've done and the position that you reach, where do you want to be?
I want to be one of those artists that after achieving success, help other artists to be successful. I also want to be able to like give knowledge to up and coming artists. I want my journey to show people that yo, you don't need to know much. Like, yeah, see, most of the stuff I know or do in this industry is self-taught. Even though I did go to school for engineering, I was already teaching myself that. So when I got there, it was just easier. Like, don't wait for no one out here. Like, learn what you can and just go for it. You and all the experience you'll need, you'll get on the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's for everyone. I want my journey to reflect that. Like, all these things that they say you need, these hoops that you need to jump through and all of that, you can get through them even if you're not in that position, like qualification wise or financially. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm coming from like the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anyone knows my real story, they know like I came from nothing. I was in foster care, flipping in the trap. Like, I was into all type of madness. You get me? Like, and I managed to like get into the industry. Like, even though I'm not in the forefront of the industry as an artist, but I did what I had to do to get through the door. You know what I'm saying? And you can do it too. So, and I want to be that person that reaches back and brings people through. So I
like that, man. I like your idea of what you said earlier about coming back and teaching other engineers, because I feel like
for sure. I'm opening up an engineer.
Route into music.
My bad, I didn't even mean to cut you off, gang. I'm opening up a studio though, for sure.
Okay, so you're gonna be doing it,
Yeah, opening up a studio and train engineers, and yeah, man, we're gonna turn up, man. It's gonna sound Chris out here.
Yeah. Well, listen, bro, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you for passing through.
My brother, love.
DJDUBL with Parkhill.